Hi, I'm Dave Epstein. Welcome to this edition of Growing Wisdom. Today we're going to talk about your plants in containers and what to do with them during the winter. So I have a lot of plants in containers. I've got vegetables, I've got ornamentals, I even have small trees. And they all require different care during the course of the winter. I'm going to try to divide these into different groups. So the first group I want to talk about are my vegetables. So I have a lot of vegetables in containers. I have kale, I have Swiss chard, I have a lot of greens. And I'm not going to bring those inside for the winter, but I want to keep them going as long as possible. If you want to keep your plants outside as long as possible, you need to cover them. You can do it by using a small greenhouse like you can see here. We bought this online for very little money. Or you can use row cover. That's that white spun fabric which does protect them from frost. This will enable you to keep your potted plants that are reasonably hardy outside a little bit longer. Eventually the plants will die and we'll start them again next spring. The second type of houseplant I want to talk about are those plants which you want to grow inside during the course of the winter. In other words, I want to keep them growing. I want them to put on new growth or continue to flower. That might be something like my grapefruit tree here. So this particular plant would grow in California or Florida, and I don't want to leave it outside too long because what will happen to it is it will get damaged by the frost or the freeze. Once that plant's moved inside, it's going to grow during the course of the winter and actually will start putting on some new growth in February. So I also have a Mandevilla that's flowering beautiful pink flowers right now. If I bring that in before it gets too cold, it will continue to flower through much of the fall and early winter. So if you want to keep your plants growing inside longer, bring those inside before it gets too cold. The plants will still be in growth mode. The final category of plants I want to talk to you about today are those plants which we want to go dormant. Those are plants which handle a harder freeze, but they can't live outside all winter long because the deep cold, temperatures in the teens and single digits, will kill them. So these are plants which I'm going to winter over in a colder room in the house, like my sunroom, which stays generally in the 50s and upper 40s most of the winter. By leaving those plants outside through late October to mid-November, it will slow down the plants and they'll go into a dormant mode. This way I can leave them in the colder area, like my sunroom, or even the garage. They'll live through the winter, but they really won't start growing until next spring. When you're bringing plants inside, 2 recommendations. Treat all of them with horticultural oil and use a systemic insecticide. This will help keep insects outside from getting inside your house. We have another video that tells you more about winterizing your houseplants. We'll put the link on this video. For Growing Wisdom, I'm Dave Epstein.